This is a Dell. It's a Dell Latitude, and it is old and has this kind of cool sticker on, but it's actually a Windows Vista era laptop, and it's a model PP18L, but it's actually a Dell Latitude of some kind. So I'll show you what's inside. And it's a Dell Latitude D630, and these were business grade laptops. It's also got a Windows XP sticker here. It's got a little thing there for the mouse and a tiny trackpad there. Quite a nice keyboard, and they're quite kind of modular in that you've got a battery compartment here that can be easily removed once you unlock it properly. And the battery comes out. There's a hard drive section here where this would slide out if I remove this screw. And then there's a optical drive here, and this again can be removed easily, and I think you were able to replace these with a battery pack if you wanted longer battery life. That was certainly the case with some of the older laptops like this. Under here we've got a memory section. Here is a fan, not sure if you can see that on the video, and a docking port here. So it's kind of quite solidly made. There's lots of feet, and kind of it's meant to have extra protection for the hard drive that's in there. And there's two USB on that side. There's a Wi-Fi switch here, I think, or actually that might be the on-off button. I'll double check that in a bit. Oh no, it's Wi-Fi. There's a slot here for a sort of PC card, but that's just a blanking plate. Let's see if that'll stay in. Oh, that won't stay in. Oh, it does stay in. Great. Microphone and headphone sockets. Kensington lock. On the back we've got a vent, two more USB, modem, Ethernet, serial port and VGA, and the power connector. So let's have a look and see if this works and whether we've got an operating system. This is a laptop that I picked up in a kind of clearance. And it would be really nice if this laptop worked. I can hear a hard drive spinning up. There's the classic Dell screen. It's quite dull. And that's a little bit better for the camera, but to me that looks much duller than it does on camera. So let's go into the BIOS, and it looks quite nice on the camera, but in real life this is quite green. There's a green tint here and it's quite faded. Can I adjust the brightness? Nothing really is happening with this, which is a shame. But let's have a look at the setup anyway. It's an Intel Core 2 Duo, 2 gigahertz, and it's got 4 gigs of RAM. That's quite good actually, DDR2. So that's in dual channel. Got an 80 gig hard disk drive, Intel Crestline graphics, 14-inch wide XGA 1280 by 800 screen. So that's quite neat. Audio modem, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, AC adapter, 65 watts. Battery not installed. It says it's charging, but I'm not sure if that battery is any good or not. It says it's reaching end of life, and the date is 2008. So Should we have a look and see? Oh, that's interesting. Let's see if I can. That's for battery brightness. So, okay, that's at maximum. It does look kind of okay on the camera, but in real life, it's probably about, looks more like that to me. Security, CompuTrace. That's interesting that it's on a system this old. Different acoustic mode for the hard drive. Power management, maintenance, docking, post behavior, wireless. So let's exit, see if we can boot into Windows. These laptops, you know, you can remove this panel here on the back, and then I think there's a few screws holding the keyboard in, and then you can remove the keyboard quite easily on these systems. They're kind of designed to be repairable, and I'm not sure why this has paused. Okay, it's making some progress now. Quite a lot of backlight bleed down here, so that's very grey. Let's see, and as booting into what looks like Windows Vista, got a little Wi-Fi logo down here. I know we've got Windows 7 Home Premium. This is much greener than it should be. This is real time. This is how long it takes to boot up. It's using about 40 watts at the moment. See if I can move this so you can see how much power is being used. Oh look, it's gonna do some Windows updates for us. These Windows updates are gonna take a while. I don't know how long, but the fan has kicked in. So I'm just gonna leave this running and we'll come back in some time. We're eventually getting to the desktop. And we've made it to the desktop. It's possible that the drive isn't doing very well, and maybe the read-write speeds aren't as good as they used to be. There's the Windows 7 startup. And we've got OpenOffice, VLC, Microsoft LifeCam. We don't have a webcam built in. We've got Acrobat Reader, Google Chrome, and the recycle bin. Should we have a look at the drive and see how much space there is? It's got Windows Aero effects so you can see through the window. It looks like it used to be connected to a media center for music, pictures and documents, unless this is the media center. And we've got 26 gigabytes free of 74 gig. Let's have a look. So we've still got the date of 2008. Windows 7 Home Premium. It's retrieving the system rating, and this is a 64-bit operating system. So we should actually have Task Manager. Let's see what that looks like. You can see it's kind of slow. I would expect a little bit better performance. 4 GB of RAM and a dual core processor. It should be a little bit more responsive, but perhaps I'm guessing it's the drive that is causing the problem. So here's CPU usage. There's a Windows Experience Index of 3.2. It's an Intel Core 2 Duo T7250, 2 GHz dual core. And I don't think this processor has hyper-threading. So if we have a look at Windows Experience Index, it should give us a breakdown of the processor, which is a 5, memory, which is a 5, desktop performance for Windows Aero, graphics 3.5, gaming graphics 3D is 3.2, and it says the disk data transfer rate is 5.9, which I've no idea what that actual speed is. It's just a number that Windows has given it, so it seems to think it's quite quick. If we go to Device Manager, we can have a look at what graphics processor or graphics chip is in there, although we saw it in the BIOS. Let's see what it calls it in Device Manager. Display adapter, mobile Intel 965 Express chipset. I've just got the processors up here because there's various things using a lot of CPU power. MakeCab.exe, MSCORSVW.exe, .net. I'm not sure what these are, and I'm not sure if this has a virus or not. Here's some of the things that are installed on here. I think I've tidied this up a little bit previously, but we've got Magic Disk, we've got Lexicon, CPU ID Core Temp. I'm guessing I put that on the last time I looked at this. Got Silverlight, OpenOffice, and VideoLAN. Let's have a look at Core Temp because the fans are ramping up quite a lot. So I've got a maximum of 83 degrees C, which is, I guess, why the fans are spinning so loudly. I've kind of got used to how dull the screen looks. It's not as bright as other laptops, but once you kind of get used to it, it doesn't look too bad. The colors look okay, not amazing. Not sure if you can see that the yeah, there's like a white box here, and then outside all of that is yellow, and there's these sort of marks on the screen. So yeah, let's just see if the DVD player works. It's a shame that fan is ramping up so much, because it'd be much nicer if this was a silent system that you could just use for like DVD playback or very light use. I quite like the Windows 7 operating system. That looks really smooth actually, the playback. I've turned the sound off, but that looks really nice, quite responsive. And let's see, just jump here. Here we are. It all just plays really nicely. Oh, didn't like that, did it? As soon as I say it plays really nicely, it stops working. Open Office, let's open a Word document. The optical drive sounds like it's having a few issues. This disk isn't in great condition. It's a real shame the fans are going so loudly. And there is still a lot of things using the processor, so it's probably worth me looking for some antivirus software to check if there's any viruses on this. Trying to find antivirus software that still works with Windows 7 can be a bit of an issue, especially if you want to install it offline. But I've downloaded Avast and AVG and a few other apps, and I downloaded these quite a while ago, so let's have a look. We've got Malwarebytes here, 2019, so these are quite old. Let's just give it a try and see if we can get this installed. Let's see if it finds anything. It's potential that if this antivirus software is from 2019 and this laptop was used before that and got a virus before that, then it might pick it up without us having to connect to the internet. Let's have a look if there's anything in startup that we need to be aware of. Just magic disk. So let's scan the machine, see if there are any viruses on here. The scan's completed. We've not got any viruses according to this, which gives me a little bit of confidence to connect this to the internet, update the antivirus software and run another scan. And I may as well see how the drive is performing in terms of speed. So I'll just run a quick crystal disk mark to see what our read and write speeds are. .69 megabytes a second. That's probably about right for a 80 gigabyte hard drive from this age time period. Considering how old this is, considering it's got stuff on the drive, it's probably kind of what we'd expect. Obviously it's not an SSD, and if we put an SSD in here, put Windows 7 on there, we'd get much quicker read and write speeds, but it'd still be SATA 1 if this is a SATA connection, which I suspect it will be, considering it's a Core 2 Duo. But yeah, this is quite a nice little laptop. It's quite chunky, it's a little bit loud. I think it really could do with the thermal paste replacing and maybe an SSD installed, but yeah, seems to be up and running, not too bad. Fresh thermal paste should make this much nicer, quieter, and I remember seeing something in the BIOS about an ambient sensor. There's this little sensor here, and I think this is designed to adjust the brightness based on the brightness of the room when this is running on a battery. But it looks like the battery is on its last leg, 25% available. Consider replacing a battery, so I'm not sure if this will survive if I pull the power cable out. Shall I give it a try? If it fails, it fails. If it lives, it lives. Let's just see what happens then. There we go. There's the system running on the battery. Got a flashing X down here, and this is a little ambient temperature sensor, ambient light sensor that doesn't seem to be doing much. But I'll plug the power back in before it actually dies. If you've liked having a quick look at this laptop, let me know in the comments, and we'll see you in another video. I might have another look at this and actually tear it down, place the thermal paste and see what's going on inside. But for now, I think we'll end the video there. Thanks for watching. Bye. Install updates and shut down.